everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have to go ahead and put this on before I get started doing anything because I've been out here literally 59 seconds and I'm all ready. So I'm trying to bite me. So anyway, welcome so much. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back again. I am Barbara. If you are new, and I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B. And what you saw me spraying was actually our product that we actually sell in our shop. It's an all natural insect repellent, DEET free. It is made with like literally 4 ingredients and it works amazingly. So if you are in the market for some all natural insect repellent, then you can click the link in the description below and go to our shop, Living Foods Farm, and you can order it and we will ship it. But today I'm excited because we're going to do another garden tour video today. So if you're new or if you missed the last one, if you checked the last video, I did a May garden tour for 2 of our gardening spaces, which is the high tunnel and then the raised beds behind my house. But today we're going to do a garden tour of the outside garden. And so if you're new, we have 3 main spaces that we grow in. And the outside garden that I'm going to show you today is 4,000 square feet. We have 100-foot rows and we have 8 of them. And we do nothing but summer veggies in the outside garden. So that's the only time that we're gardening outside in this space is during the summer. So during the summer, we got all 3 spaces going versus in the fall and in the winter, we only have 2 of the spaces going. So this is always a good time of the year for me because even though it's much more difficult work to me in the outside garden, I love it the most. It's something about just seeing it outside and just in all of its glory. It's a whole different feeling for me. Like I love my high tunnel 100%, but the way that this looks in the summertime with everything just planted and just to be outside, there's something about it that just makes me happy. And so I'm happy every summer that I get to be out here. Now trust me, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it has great rewards. So come on, let's go inside. Let me show you around. Hey y'all, before we jump into the garden tour, I want to show you my little new toy because you know I love gadgets and I always got a toy. So y'all, I have this POC link walkie-talkie. So this works over a 4G network. Now, when I originally received this, and I want to say thank you to POC Link for sending us these and for sponsoring today's video. But when I originally got this, I was thinking, oh, this will be great for emergency prep. You know, if my husband is like maybe off property and I'm at home and one of us doesn't have power. But the more I kept reading about it and when we got it, this is not necessarily for emergency prep, but a great tool for communication because it's used on a 4G network. So as long as you have cell service, it's going to work. And it says that it works worldwide. But it's a great way to communicate on our farm. If I'm at the house, he's at the ministry building or in the tunnel, or vice versa. If our son is somewhere, whatever it may be, it's a great way to communicate. Also, if we had actually a work team out here, it'll be great to have this for work teams or crews. You can set up groups, and so you can put people in a certain group and only talk to that group. Everybody's going to hear the chirp and everybody can talk back and forth. I mean, y'all, we taking it way back to the walkie-talkies. So anyway, great tool to have at your house, especially if you live on a lot of land or sometimes you and the person you want to talk to are down in the same spot and maybe they don't hear their cell phone, they leave it in the truck. You know. So anyway, this is a great product. There's going to be a link in my description below if you want to get one, and there's going to be a special discount code just for you. And so as you can see right now, I'm in the garden. My husband has left home. He's on the road. And our church is probably like 25 minutes away from our house. So we are going to call him on the walkie-talkie and talk to him on his way to church. I want to show you just how well this thing works. Hey, honey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Wow, you are coming across clearly. Okay, so you're on video, your voice is on video. So tell the people where I am. Well, they can see where I am. I'm actually in the garden. Tell the people where you are.
Okay, so I'm driving and I'm on my way to church. I'm probably about 5 to 10 miles away from church, which is about 10 miles away from my house. So at a 10-mile distance, still very clear.
Man, it is coming across real clear, y'all. This is a great way to communicate. You just have to remember, I guess, to have the walkie-talkie. Do you like it so far, honey?
So far, I love it. I mean, the way it's designed, literally, they say you could talk worldwide and you should be able to hear each other clearly no matter where you are. And at this great distance, I am inclined to believe it.
So we're going to start with our first row, which is our corn. I know that you can see that. Look, y'all, it looks so good. So this is the first time we put corn right up here in the front in this area. And so again, if you're new, we have landscape fabric, as you can see behind me. We buy a landscape fabric that already has the holes cut. We get it from Farmer's Friend. And so you can get the configurations. They sell them in 18 inches apart or 6 inches apart, and different roll lengths and all that. And so the majority of our garden is spaced 18 inches apart, versus where I have the corn, that fabric has holes that are 6 inches apart. So it is perfect for like onions, garlic, lettuce, corn, and things like that. So we have traditionally put our corn in the back of the tunnel, and we have done like either 2 or 4 blocks of maybe 6 to 10, 6 maybe corns a piece, for like a total of 24. But this year I wanted to try something different. Last year, this is where we had our onions, and the onions did okay. It was the first time that we had actually planted in this ground right here, because we had never used this space. It was covered up. And so this is only the second time that this actual row has been used. But the corn is looking fantastic. The downside is that in between the corn, there are a lot of weeds, because in between the corn, there are holes there, right? There are holes there, because it's 6 inches apart in every which way. And so I kind of have the corn about 12 inches apart. I probably could have just done the 6 inches apart, now that I'm thinking about it, but we didn't do that. It was our first time. We were trying to see how it would be. But let me take the camera off the tripod, and let me just show you this corn up close and personal. So the variety that I'm growing is peaches and cream, one variety. So that's also something different that we did this year, is that we only grew one variety of corn. And again, I love corn, but I have not been 100% successful at it. But because I love it, and because it's hard to find organic corn, I'm gonna keep on going until I get it right. So I'm hoping that this year is my year. But let me take you off the tripod. Let me let you see this up close. And y'all, you can see we already have some tasseling. Look at that right there. You can see some there. This just happened within the last week or so. So I'm thinking that means it's being pollinated. Is that what that means? If it's tasseling, I think that's what that means. And so you can see, I don't remember the count, but I think we have either 45 to 50 corn plants. This is the most I've ever done. I think the most I've done before is like 20 to 25. So this is double the amount. And I'm seeing tassels everywhere, which means I think that it's pollinating, very much so. Now, what I don't love are all these weeds in between. So you can kind of see here, like I have a corn there. There's a hole in there somewhere that's not planted, and then there's the next hole of corn. So even though they are about 12 inches apart, they are still relatively close. So you want that when it comes to your corn being pollinated. So each year I take the things that did not go well and I try to learn from my mistakes. So one of the mistakes that I made, and that you guys helped me with and actually told me about, was that I was planting different varieties of corn every single year. So I'd have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And what you guys told me, and when I finally researched, is you only plant like one kind if it's going to be in that close proximity. That way it helps with the pollination. You don't have different kinds being pollinated. There are 2 different kinds of breed. The other thing is having the corn close together. So you always want to plant your corn like in blocks, not in just one single row. Also, corn is heavy nitrogen feeders, and so we side dress this at the very beginning when we put it in the ground. And this is corn I actually grew from seed in my house, and then I planted it, if you didn't see that video. But we side dress, and we've also fertilized it twice, just because my soil is very, very deficient in nitrogen. So y'all, it's looking good. I am really, really excited, and hope and pray we get really good corn this year. If you have any corn tips that I didn't mention, please put them down below. Help me and help somebody else. But let me go ahead and take you on further down the road. So behind the corn is our okra, which is growing nicely. We've had a ton of rain, so the rain has definitely helped. They were very, very small, but these have gotten big. And I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of this is weeds except 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 okra plants. That's 4 more than what I wanted. I think I only wanted 8, but I had extra, so I didn't want to throw it away. So I went ahead and planted it. But the the okra, again, is about 12 inches apart. And again, these weeds are horrible. I got to find a way to get rid of the weeds. We were going to do like plain black paper without holes down the center, so that way no weeds can grow and it's just like a clean thing. And we still want to do that. It's just a matter of time and no rain. We've had rain every day. I mean, it's been raining for about a month. So going on down here, these are our raised beds, a row of raised beds that we have. These beds right here is from Vego Garden. I have a discount code if you are in the market for one of these galvanized metal raised beds. So we have a blue one on the end, then we have 3 right here. But out here we have mostly our onions. You can see these onions here are doing quite well. So I have a bed of onions here, that's candy onions. Then this bed right here is nothing but just flowers. And y'all, like I tell you, the weeds have taken over. But we can't keep up because literally we're running out of the house when the sun comes out, if we can, and then the rain comes. So it's been very difficult to try to get much of anything done on a consistent basis. But that's just like a little flower. And then we have a whole another bed of candy onions here. And if you saw the video of the other garden tour, you know that in the back of my house I also have 2 more beds of onions. So I have a total of 4 beds of onions. And then this is the last bed here, which are red candy onions. And you can see that some are bigger than others, but these are pretty much ready to be harvested any day now. These onions right here, because you can see some are already laying down. So this bed was planted, and then the 2 behind my house, and then these other 2 white beds right here, they were planted maybe 2 or 3 weeks after, so they'll get harvested later. But this bed right here will be one of the first ones that we do when it comes to the onions. Okay, the next row right beside it, row 2, is our spicy pepper row. So at the back of this row is a sunflower. I usually do that on most of the ends on the outside garden. And you can see that the peppers are still relatively small. But like here, we got some peppers growing here. That's red ember. We've interplanted in between with basil, marigolds, and nasturtiums. You can see, again, we got peppers coming here, even though the plant itself looks very small and tiny. There's another pepper there. So they are coming along nicely. There's a cinnamon basil, but most of them in this row are cayenne, the red ember variety, and then we have jalapenos, we have serranos. What else do we have? I think that's mostly it in this row. As you can see, they're small. They haven't gotten real big yet, but we do have peppers coming. So that is a good thing. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see this. We have tomatoes. So the next row is the tomato row. And look at that right there. We have some that are blushing already. Didn't even know that. So this whole row on this trellis is a 100-foot row of tomatoes, and we have all kinds. We have cherry tomatoes, we have slicing tomatoes, we have paste tomatoes, you name it, we have it. So you can see this is where I stopped with the pruning. So I still got to prune all the rest of these. This row down here, I got caught in the rain when I was doing it, and then they need to be clipped to the trellis. But you can see we have plenty of yellow flowers, and I have quite a few new varieties of tomatoes this year that I'm excited about. So once they start bearing fruit, I'll be excited to show you. Also on this row, of course, we interplant with flowers. That's a zinnia that's about to come up. That is a marigold right there. That is absolutely beautiful. And so we won't be short on tomatoes. We have tomatoes. There's another zinnia coming up. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Okay, so row 3, again, we have sunflowers here. And look, beside me on the other row, we already have one sunflower that has bloomed. This is the Pro Cut Orange Excel. I love this. It's so beautiful. But okay, back to this row. So this row right here are all the non-spicy peppers. So you notice I keep my peppers that are spicy in one row, and then my non-spicy peppers in another row. So they're at least, I don't know, 3-4 feet apart. And we have bell peppers already starting to form. These pepper plants are bigger than those over there. Not sure why, but you know, it's okay. And so these pepper plants, these are all bell peppers of all different kinds. Red, yellow, all the things. I'm trying some new bell peppers this year. One called Wonder Pepper, and then one called Ozark Giant. Both of those are red bell peppers. Okay, this right here is a volunteer plant, and at first I thought it was a green bean. Now I know it's not a green bean. It's actually a purple whole plant. It has literally wrapped itself around my pepper plant. So you gotta move. Oh my goodness, I actually have 2. So there's one there and one there. I wonder if I can pull it up and actually put it on the purple whole row, because this is way more established than what I already have in the ground, because you know I had to plant my seeds like 3 times. So I guess a pea got over here and self-germinated, but I'm gonna have to pull this up because it's never gonna make it without the trellis. And it's already, like I said, attached itself to another pepper plant already. So we'll see if we can replant it. If it goes, great. If not, no big deal. But you can see we have peppers and peppers and just more peppers all the way down the row. Some of them are pretty nice size. Okay, so y'all, we've seen the first 4 rows. We got the corn, the non-spicy peppers, the spicy peppers, and then the tomatoes. And so overall in these 4 rows, I think things are looking pretty good. The spicy pepper row, the peppers are really, really tiny, but I'm not concerned, just because I know that peppers sometimes they show up late to the party. They show up late. They want to be fashionably late, and that's okay. We're going to let them. Plus, I got plenty of peppers in there, and I'll have some peppers in the back of my house. So I'm not overly concerned. I'm not concerned, but I do definitely need to prune my tomatoes, because when you don't prune, again, they're getting a ton and a ton of water, which means obviously the bottom leaves are wet, and that's what can create a lot of disease or increase the susceptibility to disease, is when you have those bottom leaves getting a lot of water. So even though we've had the drip off because it's been raining so much, but I want to get that the bottom part open, and so I'm trying to take off at least like the first 12 to 18 inches off the bottom, so there is good airflow, which is going to help with pest pressure and disease on the tomato. So that is like top of mind. Now next week the forecast looks amazing. So I cannot wait, and I hope to get plenty of things done by God's grace next week. But you know, you can't control the weather. And you know, when it's raining, you want dry, and when it's dry, you want rain. You know how the story goes. But let's go see row 5, which is our squash and zucchini row. Okay, so this entire row all the way down is squash, different kinds of squash, zucchini, interplanted with like marigolds and basil. So we'll just walk down. We have some squash that is forming. It's still in the tiny stage. We have yellow crookneck squash. We also have honey nut squash. You can see there's one that's forming there. We also have a couple of either 1 or 2 patty pan squash, and then we have zucchini. But you can see for the most part we have small squash forming. Again, I am concerned about all of this rain that we've been getting. Hopefully it does not get fungus early. And like, look at this. I already see, look at that right there. Already, they haven't even been in the ground. That's aphids, I'm pretty sure, right there. So I need to spray. Already, they've only been in the ground, what, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. So this was a trellis here because last year we had tomatoes on this row. I got some more spaces to put tomatoes that I can put here, or some flowers. Oh, I hate to see that. Hate to see it. More marigolds, more squash. This is my first patty pan squash. My first time ever growing a patty pan squash. I'm excited. I love the little shape of it and how cute it looks. Y'all look at that. More bugs. Just like that. There's some zucchini popping up there. More zucchini here. More zucchini there. And then that's pretty much the rest of the row. This other row is mixed with, that has the trellis. We have tomatoes at the end of the row where we did some extra tomatoes. Here, of course, need to be pruned. And then we have cucumbers. For the first time I've grown cucumbers out here outside. I've never done that before. And you can see we have cucumbers forming. You can see that there. These, I need to make sure that they're attaching to the trellis. And then the rest of the row, we have a few more tomatoes in here on the trellis. And then the rest of this row is going to be purple hull peas. They are finally starting to come up among the weeds after 3 successions of sowing them. I'm going to see if I can take those little volunteer plants and put in the ground where I don't see one. Y'all, so many weeds. So these are going to be purple hull pea plants eventually. Okay, row 7 is a new row for me, meaning I've never done it before out here. And this is, again, mirroring what I did in the tunnel. This whole row is nothing but flowers. So a great pollination row. So we have some celosia, zinnia. Here is that new ornamental grass that I'm growing. It's called Frosted Explosion. So zinnias, celosia, that's going to be an echinacea. We even have some dahlias planted out here, a couple of dahlias. That's another echinacea, zinnia. There's a zinnia that has come forth. That's the Quinny Lime series. We have sunflowers. So the whole row, literally nothing but flowers. So it's just going to be a ton of flowers. It should be real pretty once it fills out. I love this Frosted Explosion. And then we even have some of our celosia popping through right there. The very last row here are our watermelons and cantaloupe. And so I mentioned before how the spacing, these holes are 18 inches apart, but we interplant every other hole with a basil, a marigold, or a nasturtium. And so the watermelons themselves are actually planted 3 feet apart. So you can see we have basil. The watermelon plants are growing nicely. By July, we should have watermelons. There's the purple basil. So we interplant. Basil is a great companion plant for watermelons. And so it just goes all up the row. You can see how it's looking. And the watermelons, you can see it's already out here. That is the reason why we have 3 feet of space between this row here, excuse me, that's the row. That's actually just weeds where the paper didn't come all the way together. Again, you live and you learn, you make mistakes. We should have overlapped this paper and not butted it up right against each other, because in the open spaces is where the weeds grow. So this definitely needs to be redone at some point. But this is the row here, and then all the way over is the watermelon cantaloupe row, and that is on purpose. So we give them tons of space to grow out this way as well as that way, because there's nothing else over here. So I think that's the last watermelon, and then we start to pick up with cantaloupe, and you can see we already have some cantaloupe flowers, and all of these cantaloupe are actually seeds that I saved 2 years ago. Okay, y'all, so that is the garden. So let's talk about a couple of things. So one, I would say overall things are doing well. I'm a little bummed, and I don't like the fact that I got some, I think those are aphids. Well, those aphids, they're not squash bugs, because I think squash bugs are like the white and gray. I always get a little confused on my insects. But I think those little red little bugs are some type of aphid. But and how you fix that is like some soapy water or some neem oil. But just make sure that if it's neem oil that you dilute it with water. Ask me how I know. So I need to come out here and definitely spray those plants. I hate that because I mean it's so early in the season, but squash and zucchini are so finicky. Like the squash buds are gonna come, so I just plant more squash, you know, and all that. So I maybe need to start some more squash anyway, but a little bummed about that. The pepper plants are small. I got a ton of weeds. Y'all know I don't like weeds. I know some of you like, it's okay. It's okay. I don't like weeds. Because it takes away from the aesthetic of what I'm trying to build. It's not aesthetic right now at all, but I have food. So let me just take the high road and just be okay with the non-aesthetics. But it's a lot of weeds. And just, y'all, it's been a challenge with the weather. Not complaining, just explaining. But overall, for the month of May, like I said, this stuff out here has been in the ground for about 30 days or so. I think we did the planting party April 26, 27, somewhere like that. So it's been in the ground about 30 days. So I think in 30 days we have done well and things are looking okay. Again, no garden is perfect. Every year there are challenges. Every year there are successes. Every year there are new things that you learn. And there's some things that grow well one year and don't grow well the other year. So when you have a good crop, bumper crop, hey, save it, preserve it. Count it all joy. Because sometimes you can do the exact same thing, the exact same way, in the exact same space and not get the exact same results. That is part of the journey. But I hope that wherever you are, your gardens are growing abundantly and beautifully. If you have not subscribed to my channel, definitely subscribe so that you can continue to be on the journey with me. Definitely look at the link in my bio for insect repellent as well as the POC link. And remember, y'all, this is all a journey. I want us to do it together. Let's grow together. See you next time, friend.